And now, some of the hottest comedy Melbourne has to offer. It's Owen Middleton. And thank you for that great introduction. It was a very attractive man there introducing me. Okay, so I do a lot of travel in my job as a comedian. Just come back from Queensland, which was fun. Mind you, most of the fun was on the aeroplane back. When I was coming back from Queensland, I was on the plane with a very religious woman sitting next to me. It was first time flying. So we're taking off and she's getting out the rosaries, starting to mumble her prayers, which was only made worse when the air hostess said, "So when we crash," it's a slight, should be if. And also turbulence. Everyone's been on a plane with the turbulence. Planes are bounces up and down. We hit turbulence probably over New South Wales and got this. Sorry, passengers. Pilot speaking. I should have warned you about that. Which she did not appreciate very much at all. And then I got to the airport, which is where the next lot of fun occurs. Of course, you get off your plane, have to go find your luggage, which should be simple. I got distracted by duty free because they sell all sorts of absurd things in duty free, like bottled water. Now, I'd love to have been there the day that was proposed at a meeting. I can just see this whole room of people, and they've been coming up with new ideas of stuff to sell, like fountain pens or whatever else it was back in the 70s. And some guy just sort of puts his hand up at the back of the room and goes, "Excuse me, but I think we could possibly sell water in bottles to people, even though it's available from their taps." I mean, he would have been laughed out of the room, and 2 years later, woken up as a billionaire. I've never understood this. It's like we've got it in taps in our houses, perfectly free. Let's go to the stores and spend $6 for it anyway. It's slightly mad, but there's lots of mad products. Not all of them at duty free, obviously. There's now like harnesses for dogs in order to make your animal look like Elvis, because that's the way we want to remember the king. You find out all sorts of weird things as a comedian, or at least you do if you're me, because I'm boring and I read shit. I've got to say, I was finding out the other day, it's rather interesting, the number 4 is not a very good number in China. So Marvel Comics are having all sorts of trouble selling the Fantastic Four, because it means, like, death. So they have to have the Fantastic Five. And I thought it would be hilarious if you had this circumstance where, that you got all your Fantastic Four moved to China, and I would imagine the first thing they do is hit the karaoke bars. I can see Human Torch singing "Come On Baby Light My Fire," something of that nature. And they sort of hold auditions for new superheroes, and they'd end up with some Mexican guy called the Barista, who's just shit at fighting crime, but great at making coffee. Because it just seems like he's a perfect group of 4 people, and we send him overseas and people think that we're talking about death. So anything would do, really. Yeah, so as the more observant of you have noticed, I'm visually impaired, I believe is the politically correct term. For saying I can't see. And that leads to all sorts of bizarre and unusual circumstances. And also people telling you things that are just completely not true. Like the other day I had somebody tell me that there is a harness for guide dogs for when you want to take your animal hang gliding. There's not. You also get told all sorts of other things, like all blind people know each other. I presume that this is based on the idea that all black people know each other. All blind people know each other just the same. We just don't see each other as often. But no, there's lots of bizarre things happen. Like I got window seat on the aeroplane. I'm assuming they thought this was meant to be helpful. Not quite sure how or in what events a blind person's going to want the window seat. But then again, the hostess was planning for us to crash, so maybe she figured I could sort of dive out at high speed on our way down. Anyhow, it's been great being here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Now, the comedian who I tease at the balls to get this material from is probably coming around in the dressing room, so I shall go check on his condition. In the meantime, thank you very much. I've been Owen Middleton, and good night.